All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the International 5. We're here with day 4 of the group stage, the final day before we get into the main event in the Key Arena. We've still got some great matches to go, a couple of deciders to be had, and here on the second stream we'll have Cloud9 versus Complexity to get things kicked off. I'm Zyori, joined once again by Purge. Purge, how you feeling today, my man?
I'm feeling great. This is actually a pretty important match here, especially for Complexity. Cloud9's pretty much guaranteed to get their top 4 spot, but they could get pushed a little higher. Actually, that's not really going to happen. They're not going to be able to get up to 14 within one match, so they're basically fighting for the 3rd versus 4th place spot versus Complexity here, because this is their last game, and Complexity has this game and a second one after. So hypothetically, if Complexity 2-0s here, and then they get at least one game in the second set, they'll get the 3rd place spot versus the 4th. Now, it doesn't completely matter because it comes down to perceived strength, because the 3rd and 4th places get picked by the 1st and 2nd of the opposite group.
Right.
But even still, getting the slightly higher showing and showing that you're a good team is a really good place to be. And Complexity needs to get at least 1 point between either this game or the one after to guarantee that at maximum MVP Phoenix can tie with them, but preferably 2 points if they can.
Yeah, Complexity is also playing Fnatic. Fnatic has 2 series to go still, and there's a very small chance, unlikely as it is, if Fnatic goes 2-0 over LGD and 2-0 over Complexity, then they could actually make a run for the top 4. So lots of interesting stuff today, and a big series for Complexity, and not the easiest of matchups here. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the initial picks. Well, bans, I guess, Tusk and Undying taken out by Cloud9, Leshrac and the Naga Siren taken out by Complexity. I wonder, could we possibly see some techies this go-around? Complexity is one of the teams that have utilized the techies quite a bit.
Well, they won one game with him early on in the tournament, and yesterday they played him against Secret, and they got absolutely wrecked. And they said at the end, "Oh, we're just trying to find out what your techie's counter was," and I thought it was pretty clear. It was a Zai Broodmother in the mid lane, which worked really well because you can send spiders around the map. They also had a Pugna support if they really need to clear mines in the early game.
Pugna definitely helped.
It's an option. The Pugna is good against the early physical mines. Towards the later mines, he's not really that amazing. But his Netherward's actually quite good. Techie's spells cost a lot, so if you throw it on remotes and land mines, all of a sudden you're nuking yourself for 400 or so, or 600 really, because it goes up to like 1.5 times. So it seemed like a pretty good strat out of Secret. But I'm sure Complexity was given that a shot anyways, and it just ended up being a stomp against them. So maybe we'll see it, but they'll start the game off with a Wisp and a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, slightly different here. We've seen very little early Wisp picks. There were many patches when that hero was first banned, first pick material, and this just doesn't seem to be that patch. So I wonder what they have up their sleeve, if there's a traditional pairing here, like a Wisp Bristleback, a Wisp Tiny, or if it's more of just the casual Wisp, as I call it, where he's just floating around support, can support mid, support whatever carry they go for. It has come at a cost, though. They gave Cloud9 2 very scary heroes that have been highly prioritized. First pick Gyrocopter, and they'll be able to grab Queen of Pain with their second.
And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a melee core with Wisp. Yesterday we saw MVP Phoenix playing Wisp with Leshrac, actually. And not only was it a good way to make him super tanky, normally he's quite tanky, but not extremely tanky. Not only did it make him super tanky, but also super refilled his mana. So I thought that was a cool extension that most people don't even bother with. They're like, oh, it always has to be with a melee hero that can really dive hard. Well, Lesh was kind of similar there, and maybe they could do something with Shadow Fiend, because Shadow Fiend has been a strong hero of this tournament and very often banned, but he is still getting bursted down in a lot of cases due to heroes like Queen of Pain, who does pure damage right through the BKB, and Lina as well.
Yeah, very true. So a lot of options for Complexity, and definitely that curveball that will make Cloud9 think hard about this second banning phase. Third ban from C9 will be the Wraith King, the one true king. We've seen him played a little bit. Kind of notably the counter to the Bloodseeker, who has still made it through. We'll see if he gets banned out in this phase, but could be a sign that Cloud9 might be considering the Bloodseeker.
I feel like Bloodseeker is not their style personally. I don't think I've casted that many of their games personally, because I believe this is a Group A game. We've casted almost entirely Group B games.
Yes, I have not cast any Group A until now.
So this is I'm not entirely familiar with their picks from the previous rounds, but Complexity did play a Wraith King against a Bloodseeker, like you said, and I think it's okay versus Queen of Pain as well. I mean, they always grab Ags, but that's still a pretty long cooldown, 40 seconds, without the Octarine core, so using it twice in a teamfight to kill Wraith King would be a bit difficult. Yeah. And Gyro's a bit weak to physical, so I could see Wraith King being decent, especially with the Wisp, actually. It would be pretty good.
Yeah, certainly. Beastmaster, third ban from Complexity. No surprise there. Some respect against Fata, one of few players that's really prioritizing the Beastmaster quite a bit. And fourth ban from Cloud9 is the Legion Commander. Okay.
I really like Beastmaster. I think he's in a very good place as a hero. I'm a little surprised he's not played slightly more, but he doesn't have quite the same playstyle and role as other mids. He can't snowball as hard. He kind of can, going around blinking, Necro 3 roaring people, but I feel like in professional games that's a little bit less viable because people just die less in some cases. There's less like solo versus solo kills, basically, like a mid picking off supports. It doesn't happen as much at this level. People are more careful.
Yeah.
They just don't die nearly as much. So